an agreement that says we're going to do everything we can to help the Prime Minister, Salam Fayyad, build up the Palestinian entity the way he wants to do, even if it's not a state, create a civil government, create some sense of structure and stability. And we're going to be in there helping him do that, and other Arab countries are going to help him do that, and Western Europe is going to help him do that, because we believe that's an important element of the future.
Yes, Fayyad is moving in the right direction.
So why don't we just have why doesn't the president get on board and say, we're going to go get our allies, and we're going to get as many Arab countries as we can, to join in that, so that
it only will make sense if the agreement that is now being negotiated between the Fatah Central Committee and Fayyad actually takes place. Fayyad wants to run after Abu Mazen,
right,
but in order to run, he has to have a unified Fatah system, because they can't do again what they did in 2006, where Fatah ran candidates against itself. He has to know that Fatah Central Council is really behind him, and that there won't be other candidates who mess up the system. Right now, the Central Committee of Fatah is insisting that Fayyad would appoint at least half the members of his cabinet would be Fatah people. This, for him, is a kiss of death. He wants to have a government which is competent, a government of people who know what they're doing.
Agreed.
I don't think that Fayyad has the support base to win an election, actually.
Even if he has the
He's
Fatah?
not a Fatah member.
I know, but even if Fatah...
And he doesn't really have a constituency behind him. I actually think his political ambitions are pretty well constrained by that. I think by getting into the intricacies of Palestinian politics as they might play out, we are losing sight of a bigger picture, which is why America is concerned with trying to resolve this problem anyway. And I think the reason why President Obama has gone into this very contested field is because he sees it in America's strategic interest, that if they can simply take the Palestinian-Israel conflict out of international diplomacy, it will take away one of the sources of radicalization. Right. And that's what it's all about. What happens in the political arena of Palestine will, of course, be very relevant to that. But it's just trying to find the formula by which meaningful progress can be made to try and resolve this conflict, without which, I'm afraid, the president will continue to face a terror threat, even if he doesn't call it a war on terror.
You began this book with a Lebanese journalist who was assassinated in 2005, who says, it's not pleasant being Arab these days. Feelings of persecution for some, self-hatred for others, a deep disquiet pervades the Arab world.
That's Samir Kassir, a very great mind whose life was cut short by a car bomb in the aftermath of the assassination of Rafiq Hariri and the anti-Syrian movement that followed. And he put his finger on something quite profound, which is the way in which, in the aftermath of the Cold War, and since the events of 9/11, that people in the Arab world who continue to really hope to see a new dawn where they might take command of their own future and whatnot, are finding themselves more powerless than ever. And there's a deep sense of malaise, particularly after the war in Iraq, that really has been radicalizing politics, making people feel they can't actually make a difference by the ballot anymore. And so, in this way, I think, complicating.
Eugene Rogan's book is called The Arabs, A History. Stephen Cohen, it's good to see you back in good health. Beyond America's grasp, a century of failed diplomacy in the Middle East. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Great to be with you.
Thank you for joining us.